Hey guys, welcome to FM Driving School. So how can you spot a bad driving instructor? Today, from your fully qualified driving instructor, I'm going to give you guys a few tips so that you can be confident with whoever you're learning with and then know if they're going to try to con you or if they're delaying your progress. So we're going to give you a few tips from myself, your fully qualified driving instructor. So the first thing you do when you're looking for a driving instructor is obviously you might go through recommendation or you might Google it, okay? How else could you do it? Let me just think. Obviously, internet's the easiest way and going through recommendations. So also, it's always good to go through recommendation because your family member or whoever your mate's learning with, they'll give you an idea of who the instructor is and how they're teaching and what they're like. Sometimes, obviously, some instructors give an incentive. If you find me a student, I'll give you like a lesson off or £20 voucher. So some students then might give you a recommendation, but really they're doing it for themselves. So just be aware of that. Number two, when you're looking online, look through the recommendations. So look at the reviews, see what people say about their driving instructor. When you get to your driving school, make sure the instructor has a badge like this. So it's an ADI badge. So ADI is a fully qualified driving instructor. PDI is someone who hasn't qualified as of yet. So they're learning, they've done the training, but they haven't passed their driving exams, an instructor exam that is. Both are alright. PDI just hasn't got the experience, and ADI, like myself, we got experience because we've been teaching for so long. But the main thing is make sure they're qualified. Then you're going with the legit driving instructor, and they know how to teach. They've been trained to teach. They know how an examiner marks. So it's really important to understand how an instructor marks. So how an examiner marks. But if you're with a qualified instructor, you will get that. How can you spot though if you got a bad driving instructor? You won't know until obviously you get into the car, and obviously after the few tips, maybe you get an instructor who's fully qualified, but they're not really giving the best advice, the best teaching skills, and they don't really care. They're really there just for the money. How can you spot that? A few ways you can spot that. One is if they're constantly late, and we're not talking about a couple of minutes. We're talking about 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And the worst part of that is if the instructor doesn't give you the time back at the end of the lesson or even the next lesson. Say they're 15 minutes late, they should really say to you, okay, I'm sorry I'm late. We can be late for any reasons. Maybe we got other commitments. Maybe there's traffic on the road. Maybe there's been an accident on the road, and we have to find different methods or alternative routes, sorry, to get back to your driving lesson. So if it happens once or twice, forgive your instructor. But if it keeps constantly happening and your instructor is taking the mick out of you by not giving you the time back, that's your sign that okay, something's wrong. This instructor isn't really taking you seriously. So make sure they give you the time back. Yes, forgive them the first 1 or 2 times, but not consistently being late, and not especially not giving you your time back. You're paying for a lesson. Make sure you get that time back. The other way you could tell, I wouldn't 100% give it to you as a method, but if you're, because a lot of students ask the instructor, how many lessons do you think I need? And the instructor might straight away say to you, 50 lessons, 60 lessons, 100 lessons, I don't know. Okay. Look, as a student, every student has different levels. An instructor cannot fully give you a cannot give you an exact figure, exact number of how many lessons you need. They can give you a rough idea, but say you're a slow student, you might be a slow learner, and they say 50, you might think, oh, that's quite a lot. My mate passed in 10 lessons or 20 lessons. How can I take 50 lessons? One, is possible he's chatting a bit of nonsense to you and he's saying that just so he can take a lot of money out of you, or two, you are a slightly slow learner. You won't know that. You don't know. You could be slow or he could be mugging you off. We can't say. The best thing to do is see your progression, see how you're learning. As you're driving, are you picking things up quite quickly? If you are and you're feeling confident, then he says to you, yo, you need 50 lessons, then okay, maybe that's a sign something's going on. Is he trying to mug you off? Comment below, let me know how you've been conned, if you've been conned, you know, as a student. Let me know your experiences. Comment below so other students can read it and, you know, like pick a few things up for themselves. I myself, when I was a teenager, when I was learning, my instructor was constantly late, 10 minutes late, and would leave 10 minutes early actually. And I was too young, I was too polite. I really couldn't, you know, say much to him. I was like, mate, what's going on? And, you know, I was just really too polite, I think. I think, you know, as you grow up, you build that firmness in you. But, you know, leaving 10 minutes early and, you know, coming 10 minutes late consistently is really poor behavior. So, you know, watch out for that, and try to have the courage, notice it early on, and leave the instructor if you can. The other thing a driving instructor might do in your lesson is maybe they need a break, okay? So they might take 5 minutes during the lesson. Maybe they're, you know, they smoke, say, for example. They just want a break. They take 5-10 minutes during the lesson. If that happens, they should give you the time back. If you, the student, says to the instructor, can I take a fag break? And you might be 2 minutes, fair enough, okay? That's you. If the instructor says it and he takes 2 minutes off, it's up to the student to decide, is that you know, a lot of time, 2 minutes. But if the instructor starts taking 5 to 10 minutes for a fag break, then again, that's a sign that he's really taking the mick out of you. I mean, 10 minutes to take a cigarette, really? So if that happens, just watch out for that. Also, if the instructor constantly goes to the petrol station to fill up his tank, it happens, we might not get time, for example, to, you know, get a chance to go to the petrol station. It's running really low and you got a 2 hour lesson and we have to then go, no problem. If it happens once in a while, okay, cool. But if it happens again in your lesson constantly, your instructor is really taking the mick out of you. I mean, why is he taking pit stops at your lesson? You're paying for 2 hours or 1 hour lesson. It's not a lot, it goes really quickly, and during that time he has to go, or she has to go and fill up the tank. They should really be prepared for you in advance. So again, another sign. I've heard stories of instructors also during the lesson, your lesson time that is, you paid for the lesson, they go to their homes and they take a little tea break or bathroom break. Okay. Again, as I said, it can happen. You know, if they need to go to the bathroom, alright, cool. But every time in your lesson, or even a tea break, is that really necessary in your lesson time? I know this job can be really stressful. We have a lot of students teaching non-stop, different clientele. It can be extremely stressful, but you guys are paying for a service, so they really should not be doing that in your lesson time. Those are a few tips for you guys to realize if your instructor is really bad and taking the mick out of you. Hopefully that was useful. If it was, don't forget to like, share and subscribe with FM Driving School. Do check us out at fmdrivingschool.co.uk. You'll get a lot of free resources on how to pass your driving test, your theory test. And again, comment below about your experiences with your driving instructor, if it was good or bad. Hopefully there's no bad experiences with myself as your instructor. Thank you again for watching.